Talking heads in the media were simply amazed by Joe Biden's speech last night. Listen.
It was a very strong speech, delivered well, started well, ended well.
You could just hear the thundering applause.
It was a fairly solid performance.
I think this was a reminder of why people elected Joe Biden.
I thought that was Joe Biden at his best. Uncle Joe is back.
These are people who are paid to praise Biden, but we wanted to hear what people who aren't getting paid to praise him think. So we spoke to real people.
Big speech last night. What you think?
It was a good speech. I think so.
Do you know what speech I'm talking about?
Nah.
It was great. I enjoyed it a lot.
What speech do you think I'm talking about?
I don't know.
The State of the Union.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, crazy stuff going on.
Do you know who delivers the State of the Union?
No.
President Biden.
Oh, really?
He's a hypocrite.
All talk, no action.
A lot of mumbling.
It was horrible.
President Biden says the State of the Union is strong. What do you think?
I think it's extremely weak.
It's not.
Where? I don't see it. People are still starving.
I don't think he's proven himself yet.
Inflation is at an all-time high. Our gas prices are extremely high.
We need to bring back some of the old Trump policies, and we'll see how strong things really get.
President Biden says that he gets that inflation hurts. Do you think he gets it?
No, he is a man of money and power.
Inflation doesn't hurt him.
Probably doesn't affect his bank account too much, especially with all that money his family has in Ukraine.
He lives sort of in a bubble and a cloud in the sky and isn't here in the streets with us.
He goes back to his little rich house, and he's got money, so he doesn't really care about the poor or anybody.
President Biden says that everything should be made in the United States.
Stamping products made in America.
Do you think we should be buying Russian oil?
Oh, hell no.
No, we have more than enough oil in the United States.
They should open the pipeline.
We about to go to war with them. Why would we buy stuff from them?
We buy the oil, the money changes hands. Putin has money, and now he invades Ukraine with that same money. Aren't we supporting the Russian war?
At the end of Biden's speech last night, he said, "Go get him."
Go get him!
Who's he talking about?
He's talking about, I would think on the short term, the Russians.
Probably the Russians.
The Russians?
He's definitely saying that, we should start coming for Russia's neck.
Trump?
Whoever he wants to sniff next.
I don't even know if he knows that.
He ain't gonna get nobody.
President Biden, first year in office, what grade would you give him?
C.
A C. C minus.
C minus.
A D.
D, a good strong D.
A good strong D.
D, yeah.
Yeah?
He's about an E.
Well, there's no E.
No E?
So
I think we're going to make an E specifically just for this example.
F, epic failure.
Joe Biden, thank you for your words, but it's time for you to act more like President Zelensky.
Wow. Joining me now to break it down, Kellyanne Conway, former counselor to the president. That is in Midtown Manhattan. That is not the deep red South, Kellyanne. That's no good. That is no good. Your thoughts?
Jesse, you would get that reaction no matter where you are. You'd get that from the Democrats in Congress. Not one, but two of them actually had responses to their own party leader's State of the Union. And you can forgive the people that you talk to in Midtown Manhattan. They probably think Joe Biden is the mayor of Wilmington. It's where he spends most of his time. They saw last night a president miss an opportunity. Every president has a tremendous opportunity in the State of the Union to do a couple of things. Joe Biden did none of them. Project strength, build confidence, defy your critics, and upend your naysayers by really fooling them by delivering a really great performance that's against what they usually think of you. And President Trump did that all 4 years. I remember after his first joint session of Congress, which is what it's called, the first year, and not the State of the Union, that was everybody said, oh, where is this Trump in? My goodness, he's so measured. He was so funny. He was so serious. Well, that's what the voters had seen all along. But, with Biden last night, it was almost like he was checking a box. It was almost like he was lancing a boil, smoothing out a bump. It was just somewhere he had to be that night on the schedule, instead of really projecting strength and optimism. The other thing that is confounding to me, and I think if this weren't so, you would have heard differently from the people you interviewed today, Jesse, they really did not do what presidents and first ladies do with the guest box.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to show guests, people from D-Day, elevating a Tuskegee Airman to Brigadier General, a woman who had overcome her drug addiction being reunited for the first time with her baby, the military family being reunited, the North Korean dissident coming on his crutches that he used to escape Korea in 2006. So it just goes on, and we didn't see much of that at all. We saw two bored women behind Joe Biden and Joe Biden boring us.
You're so right. They could have put on a Russian dissident. They could have put on a World War II veteran who fought the Russians in Eastern Europe. They could have put on a COVID nurse. They could have put on a little kid who doesn't have to wear a mask in school anymore. You're so right. They could have done so many things that would have really galvanized the country, and he just swung and he missed. It's almost like he didn't even swing. It's like he didn't even try, Kellyanne.
It's the time to showcase everyday heroes, and it's also the time, I believe, to announce new policies. All he did was make new promises. And also, don't blame Joe Biden. Most presidents get up there and they talk about their accomplishments. He really doesn't have any. And I don't say that as a partisan. I say that in all sincerity. This is a guy who has no energy policy, and this is a guy who has no energy at all. So it was a double whammy for him last night. I don't know what Nancy Pelosi was doing with that odd standing up, grinding her teeth, doing this with it. But it is the last time we'll see her in the speaker's chair. That I guarantee you. Last time.
Yes. That was the best moment, because it is the last time we will see her there. Thank you very much, Kellyanne Conway, as always. Great ideas.
Thank you, Jesse.
You could have used them.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.